What up guys, Andy with Level 1, and I am here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. Nope, Victrix Pro BFG by PDP. They've been pushing out a lot of cool controllers lately. We've reviewed a couple of them already, and today we have this one. It's pretty awesome, I'm gonna tell you right now. So it's for PS5, as you can tell by the big PlayStation symbol here and the nice white and blue, the classic white and blue PlayStation colors. This is compatible with PS4, PS5, and PC. And I used it on PS5 and PC. No PS4 for me, sorry, I've already upgraded, and I think most of you have. So there's a little switch on top of the actual controller that says PS5, PS4, and PC, so you can just swap right there. There's another switch right here, wired to wireless, and a button right here to switch profiles, because you can save a couple profiles on the controller through their software. So right away, the controller is very nice. It's super sleek. I love the textures. That's one of my favorite things about the whole design of the controller. I love the leatherette grips right here in the front, and then the back has, like most controllers do, where it's kind of like a, it's not really a leather, it's kind of like a matte material, or that's like kind of etched into the buttons too. And so you have that on the back side, and the front is like a full-on nice solid grip, so that your hands right here are not really slipping. The triggers also have a nice sort of etching in them, as well as the buttons on the back. And the buttons on the back are probably my favorite buttons on a controller so far. I've played on a few Pro controllers, but these buttons were probably the biggest, like the widest, and the most comfortable on the back end of the controller. Ayo. Of course, you have your buttons on the back for the trigger stops, and they click when you put them into place. And then when you want to take them off, you just pull the switches and push the triggers down, and then boom. So if you're playing a driving game, you know what I'm saying, you need the triggers to go all the way down. If you're playing an FPS, you know what I'm saying, trigger stops are in there so you can laser kids on Fortnite. You have all the regular PS5 buttons on the front. You have your touchpad in the middle, capture, menu. It's all pretty standard, but what's not standard about this controller is that it is a modular controller in which you can change all the buttons. So you can unscrew this whole module right here, take it out, and change it. You can also just change it on the fly by pulling out the D-pad and going with the flat pad, which I actually preferred the traditional D-pad over the others. You can add a longer stick, you can add a shorter stick. Whatever game you're playing, whatever you're comfortable with, you can change it up. This controller will handle any game. And then of course it comes with a fight pad. So you can remove that whole side on the right and slap a fight pad right there. And I love the fight pad because it is super responsive. The buttons are like 5 millisecond response time, but they're clicky. I don't know if you can hear that, hold on. It's super light and super clicky, which is a really nice feel for fighting games. Now, if you're someone who already owns a fight pad, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're probably going to keep using your fight pad. You're not going to use a controller that also operates as a fight pad. But if you're someone who likes to play fighting games and you don't own a fight pad, or don't want to spend the money on a fight pad, but you want a new Pro controller for your PlayStation, then this might be a good option because you can also turn it into a fight pad, right? So it's a little bit of best of both worlds for you. If you're someone who already owns a fight pad, this might be a little bit more portable because it does come with a very nice carrying case that holds everything inside, a little bit lighter, easier to carry. If you're someone who just games on PS5 and you just want a Pro controller and you don't really care about the fight pad, you might also love this controller. It has 20 hours of battery life. Now that I thought could have been a little bit more, considering that it doesn't have rumbles or haptics. Most real competitive controllers though aren't really going to have rumbles or haptics, because like if you go on and you buy a customized scuff controller or cinch controller or something like that, you're spending upwards of $200, $250, and they remove the rumbles anyway on most of their controllers because it affects battery life, and of course it's heavier. You want a light controller, and this is a light controller. You can game for hours with this thing. It's not heavy at all. It feels comfortable in the hands. So 20 hours of battery life is about what the regular PS5 controller does. So I thought that this one should have done a little bit more considering that it doesn't have that. But 20 hours of battery life is pretty much all you need. And then this did charge a little bit faster than the regular PS5 controller, so I guess it's kind of like a trade-off, you know what I'm saying? Another con is right out of the box, plugging this into the PS5, it did not work right away. Something was wrong, didn't know what it was. I saw other people online also complaining about it, but then I plugged it into the PC and updated the firmware using the PDP app, and everything worked perfectly fine after that. Ever since then, the controller has been amazing. Plug and play on both console and PC. I haven't had any issues. So you definitely have to update the firmware on your PC first. I think right out of the box, just immediately update the firmware. I did see people complaining about their updates also getting stuck, but I didn't have that issue. I don't know, it was pretty smooth for me. I plugged it in, firmware updated, and I was good to go. And the app is probably where this controller also shines. The app being able to program the back buttons, remap all of the face buttons. You can remap the front buttons as well. Any button, you can remap it. You can adjust the trigger dead zones. You can adjust the stick dead zones. You can recalibrate the sticks. So if you're experiencing some drift or it doesn't feel right to you, you can go right into the app and you can adjust the sticks and everything. You can adjust the buttons. You can run diagnostics to make sure everything is working properly. And I think that that's absolutely amazing. So if you feel like the controller isn't running up to par, you just plug it into your PC and you just run a diagnostics and you try and fix it. I think that that's something that a lot of controllers don't have that this one does. This is $179.99. This is about the size of an Xbox Series X Pro controller, maybe slightly bigger because the Xbox Series X has more curvature kind of at the ends, which makes it have a smaller feel. And then of course, for me, the paddles here, you see how my hands sit naturally on the back, like it's just at the edge of the paddles. Because I love these buttons on the BFG controller, they're so like wide on the back that my fingers still sit on the edge, but because the buttons are so wide, they still hit perfectly fine. No misclicks, no misses. That's why I think those are some of the best like back buttons so far that I've tried on a controller. I also love the size, I love the comfort. The sticks felt very accurate and they feel kind of loose. So if you're someone who likes a lot of tension, I feel like the regular PS5 controller has more tension on the sticks. This one's a little loose. So those people that like those sticks that feel like broken in and super loose, they might like these sticks a little bit more. You can go into the app and you can customize those dead zones as well. I think that it has great customizability. I think that it's easy to change all the pieces and you have a nice little carrying case as well. I think that PDP did a good job making the Victrix Pro. And I think that it's a great alternative Pro controller for PlayStation players and PC players. Again, no haptics and rumble might annoy some people if you're playing regular games. I was like in the middle of playing, or at the beginning of playing like Spider-Man 2, and not having rumble or like haptics in Spider-Man 2 does kind of suck a little bit, because you know when you like use the web swinging and you feel like the kind of like tension and all that stuff. Obviously, this is a competitive Pro controller that you can play those games with. It's not really made for those games, so I would still use the traditional PS5 controller for that. But the second I swap to like Apex Legends or I'm playing Street Fighter 6, I'm jumping on this one, you know, because it's going to give me that competitive edge. And I think that's what a lot of people will probably be looking for. I think that if you're like a real fighting game pro, you probably already own a fight pad. PDP sells fight pads. You can go check those out. I wish they sold like the pieces to change it separately, so that like if you do eventually get stick drift, because if we're being completely honest here and transparent, Every controller is going to have stick drift. It's just a matter of when, and it's just a matter of how much you use it before it starts to happen. I think a lot of people will still love this controller. I enjoyed using it. Again, it charges pretty fast. You can change the buttons and sticks on the fly. You have lots of customizability, especially if you're a fighting game player. Quick to change, compatible with console and PC, and of course transportable with a nice carrying case to come with it. I think it's worth the $180. I think that a lot of people will be happy with this choice. So make sure you check them out. You can go onto their website. This is the Victrix Pro by PDP, the Victrix Pro BFG for PlayStation 4, 5, and PC. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon on another video. Peace.